So, François.
Thank you. Yes. Can you see my screen? Everybody?
Definitely, we do it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I will talk you about an ANR project which is called the Smart IoT for Mobility. And I will try to give you more multidisciplinary issues around this project. The multidisciplinary issues are about the adoption of smart contracts in the specific case of vehicle accidents. This ANR project is with Renault and CIMAG, and I will try to give you all these multidisciplinary works that are on this project. The agenda will be this kind of stuff. It's not very important. The first thing I will give you is our use case. This use case has been given by Renault, which participate in this project with a strong motivation of giving to its clients, its customers, or its drivers a trust about all the after sales, the expertise, the insurance, etc. In fact, who is better than Renault to collect and to use the data that are on its vehicles? The problem is there to find a way to be able to collect all these information. The information could be all the information that could be extracted from a vehicle once they have an accident. The clouds that are in this schema could be the cloud, the Renault cloud, the expertise cloud, the after sales, the car mechanics, the insurance, and so on. So the problem is there is to try to be able to manage all these information by using a blockchain. And more in the blockchain, we are more interested on the smart contracts. The smart contract could be one way to manage and to give the trust to everybody in these systems. The things that Renault has proposed is to equip every cars with a TCU, a card, which could be an IoT, something like that, that could connect to a blockchain to give all the informations that the sensors could give. For example, it could be videos a few seconds before the accident. Everybody, things like that. And the problem is there first to know to know exactly the sensors that could give the information, to be able to extract very precisely the performance of the blockchain in this case, because, for example, we could alert a service, an emergency service, for example, like in the e-calls that are working today in the vehicles, but we would like also to have to work on the smart contracts that could be exchanged between the cars and the clouds to be very huge on this kind of project. The project IoT for mobility is thus which works in close collaboration with Renault and CIMAG, as aims to develop a solution to adopt negotiations through the smart contracts, which would be deposited in a blockchain. The blockchain would be seen in the project as a means to ensure the compensation of everyone, the traceability, but also the sharing of data and the business models that could be from partners with various interests, of course. All these issues are of the concerns of lawyers, since the smart contracts are a way to propose a legal contract, but in fact, the digital transformation of our society is at the heart of legal concerns, because the acceptability to users, the trust in which they place this type of application, of course, you will give your name in a system like this one, so you must have the assurance of non-disclosure of personal data, and from the RGPD, of course. The idea of this project is to start from a legal framework and to define as clearly as possible the exact terms of a smart contract, and to simulate these contract exchanges at the scale of IoT devices. Of course, to do this, it will be necessary to develop a language understandable by everyone, for example, a natural language, to simulate the exchanges, and this independently to a particular architecture. So in fact, in this project, we are not on a specific architecture. We are not on a specific blockchain. We are not on a specific language for representing the smart contract. We are trying to put all of these things in a box and to try to see what we could propose. The implementation of some blockchain on IoT platforms is already under research, and it is therefore eventually possible to exchange smart contracts on some IoT devices. It remains to be determined on which blockchain to work on and significantly reduce the energy spent by these IoT platforms. For example, we could have this kind of architecture, which could be which could have a Linux platform on top of the hardware architecture, and we are able to run some blockchain Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, R3 Corda, Hyperledger Sawtooth, etc. On these platforms. Of course, on IoT platforms, we are not able to run the miners from Ethereum, for example, etc., because all these proof of work or proof of authorities consensus are very huge to be run on IoT platforms. But we are able to run smart contracts to send data from this architecture to a blockchain. What is in the aim of our project is to have this architecture equipped with an interface for several blockchains, for example, with a natural language library on top of this interface, and we could have a smart service book, which is the application from Renault, from the use case we are working on. In fact, we are exactly at the center of our project with the BlockC, which is an interface for several blockchains that is furnished by CIMAG, with a DSL, domain-specific language, for the smart contracts, which is furnished by the IEEE laboratory, and the global question about the trust, the privacy, etc., which is the heart of the economists and the laboratory of experimental economics in Nice, and all these things being controlled by lawyers that could give us real legal things on the contracts and so on. The pluridisciplinarity in the SIM project was brought together to try to answer all of these questions. All of them are members of the Université Côte d'Azur and come from different faculties, a group of lawyers from the DL4T, the Digital Law for Technology, a group of computer scientists that forms the laboratory ISSS, a group of managers and economists from the GREDEG and from the LEN laboratory, the Laboratory of Experimental Economy of Nice, and a group of electronics scientists from the LEAT laboratory. I will just try to give you the different aspects that are under research now for these four disciplines. The participants to these SIM projects are there. There are a lot of researchers that works with us. And what I would like to say is that all the name that are written in bold are the personnel that were recruited on this project, all the postdoc, the PhDs, the etc. And quasi all these PhDs will give you a specific talk this afternoon on the different, of course, things they are working on. The lawyers the role of the lawyers is to reply to some questions. Is the automatization particularly incompatible or not with the principles of contract law? That is a question very present in all the law research, because the automatization means to try to express differently the principles that are in the contract law, and is the automatization be strictly not compatible or incompatible or compatible with the contract law. The second question is, are the smart contracts really useful for the security? This is a very important question that is at the center of the question they try to respond. Can blockchain and smart contract result in total algorithmization of the contracting process? That is also a question that is very present in the law questions, because the problem of algorithmization is also a problem that is posed by all these the modernization of all the contracting processes. The work with computer engineers will allow the law team to verify that legal language can really be translated into a code, of course. So the accompaniment of the lawyers to the work of the engineers make it possible to elaborate a legal reflection which will be able to respond to the challenges posed by the so-called autonomous vehicles. This is why the lawyers study questions that are of interest of the SIM project with a broader dimension, so to be able to grasp all the legal facets of augmented mobility. That's why they they have started a study which is le transport augmenté, enjeux et perspectives juridiques. The aim of which is to address the issues raised by the modification of means of transport, of every transport, by land, sea, by air, etc., by the implementation of deep technologies. The goal of this study is to propose a theoretical and global legal approach in order to accompany the innovation of the augmented transport. Of course, all these questions must means that the respect of the right of the consumers is still being insured, of course. The computer scientists are specialized in the definition of formal language for embedded systems that require functional description, extra functional description to describe, for example, the time, the real time that it could be managed, and they are able to formally describe the semantics of domain-specific languages, and generate specific DSLs for the analysis in these environments. It is thus an intermediary between the lawyers who have the knowledge on the expected content of the smart contract, the economists who measure the acceptability and of the users, and the electronics engineers who realize the physical architecture. The computer scientists, and the computer science is, of course, at the heart of our project. The goal of the computer scientists is to build a formal meta language to describe a combination of service in the context of autonomous vehicles. It is also to verify that these services conform to expectations that are given by, for example, the lawyers, and then generate from this abstract description the artifacts that are correct by construction, that are based on this deployment schematic. The deployment is, as the deployment is partly on blockchains or distributed ledgers and etc., but partly on smart contract, it is necessary to be able to manage the characteristics of the different deployment, and in particular, when you send information in a smart contract that is dedicated to multiple smart contracts installed on several blockchain, eventually different blockchain. That is the strong questions that is at the center of what they are doing. For example, this is the generation of multiple smart contracts, for example, on Sotus, on Ethereum, on Tezos, on Bitcoin, for example, which is not a blockchain that supports the smart contract, but they could do also. That is at the end of what they have done for the deployment specification. The management researchers and the economists is part of the ecosystem, and the choices cannot be understood in isolation. So the economists will verify the role of economics, of ecosystem dynamics and public institution in the making of the trust and the acceptability. To determine social acceptability and smart contract uses by verifying the issues concerned with a priori acceptability and appropriation. All these part of these questions are done in an experimental laboratory, the LEN, that is trying to have a test a model, a toy model, by using challenging methods based on experimental economics, since the fact that these smart contracts are not yet diffused, of course. The understanding of the use of these blockchain and smart contracts is envisaged in a mixed framework that try to be on two questions: a qualitative approach that is useful for the analysis of the blockchain ecosystem in reality, and an experimental quantitative approach allowing to better grasp the behaviors of users and socio-economic actors. The qualitative approach have two principal questions. What is the role of a blockchain technology and its application and its smart contracts in an ecosystem? And what characteristics of this blockchain affect inter-firm trust? The second question, the quantitative approach, is based on end users and managers, and as a first result concerning the experienced users that have been that have a negative attitude towards smart contracts. That is quite surprising. The ambiguity aversion, which is quite specific, which is the type of uncertainty, the impossibility to know the probability of an outcome that is verified, that the ambiguity aversion plays a positive role when the user has no experience on driving a vehicle. In contrast, the interpersonal trust, the generalized trust, and risk aversion play a negative role on this attitude. That could be a fact that must be under the research before trying to develop such a system or such schema. The electronics scientists try to build a prototype version of an embedded system that is able to make the transaction of some blockchain, Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, Hyperledger Sotus, and so on, and the smart contracts. In fact, the prototype version could not be effectively constructed, but in what they have to do is to model a complete hardware and software architecture that could be co-simulated in performance and in electrical power consumed. To add the correct intellectual properties also is a fact that is under the research of electronics scientists. Today, we have made a system which could be modeled of the IoT architecture, which is completely operational. For example, with this kind of architecture, which allow to execute a complete application of one client. So in fact, you can have an application that is programmed on an API of blockchain that is run on top of a Linux platform that could be simulated on every architecture of an IoT, for example. In addition to this model, we are able to deploy the hardware IPs, for example, for the cryptographic things, the SHA, the KCAC, and etc., for being able to accelerate the execution of a specific blockchain and to consume less energy. On this kind of architecture, we are able to program a vast variety of blockchains and smart contracts application. And we have tried to develop a particular application, a first application for the use case of Renault. In this application, we are able to run an Hyperledger Sotus client, which sends to specific smart contract and to specific distributed ledger, the IPFS, the interplanetary file system, informations to be able to try to manage the large number of the blockchain, of course. To have also measure, we have also measure on the cloud the commit rate of this blockchain, which are there, which is there, and we have see that the maximum performance is for 25 transactions per second in 4 nodes commits. That is the maximum performance of an Hyperledger Sotus. That's why I asked to Pierre Boulez the performance of a huge blockchain that could be installed on several nodes. We have, of course, okay, no, it's not something that I have to talk. So in conclusion and perspective, the first thing I will talk about is the fact that this project has started the 6th January in 2020, 2 months before the first lockdown. So it was quite difficult to manage all these people, especially concerning the staff that is recruited on this project, because the 2 years of this project, the project has quasi 2 years, and the 2 years of this project have been strongly impacted by the health situation and in the Alpes-Maritimes specifically. I hope, however, and very sincerely and very honestly, that the whole project has not been too difficult to manage. Okay, but the conclusion that I have on this project is we have almost all the questions that are asked today on the modernization and the implementation of new technologies in the transport and specifically in the autonomous vehicles. We have much more knowledge about the industrial needs around the blockchains and around the smart contracts. We know exactly that the industrial, the OEMs that build the vehicles needs only consortium blockchains and smart contracts. We know exactly that all the public blockchains are not, absolutely not, under the blockchain that could be studied. We know now the problems of privacy, the respect of users' rights, the risk aversion and trust in such systems. We are able to have some of the phrase that could be in the future of these projects. We have also extensively studied the consortium blockchains and the various participants, in fact, the various validators or various miners, etc., in these blockchains. And we know now that two nodes that belong to different organizations will never exchange the data they host. So in fact, we must go through the multiple blockchains that are connected from the different organizations that could be even in this very specific use case. Okay, I have the vast bibliography that you can see. I don't know if you will have the slides that I have presented, but anyway, thank you very much. And if you have questions, of course, I am ready to respond to you.
Okay, thank you very much, François. So I'm part of this project as well as collecting the questions. So we will start. Well, I guess here we mainly have local people who know the project quite well. So I'm going to ask if there is anyone online who might have questions.
Okay, yeah, there is a comment of Christine on the first thing. I would like to draw your attention on to the smart contract project. Yes, I know that this project could be very interesting because they have quite the same initial questions. Yes, I know that, and I thank you, Christine. I will try to yes, of course.
Christine, did you want to add something?
It's just that in this project, there is a part of the work that consists on implementing. So before to have a look at the juridic legal clause that may be automated by smart contract or not. And so for those that have been selected, we develop a smart contract library to test if it is in fact possible or not, and what are the performance, the results, and so on. And so this gives some indications on what may be automated by smart contract and what should remain in the domain of the
Legal
chain on the lawyer, on the legal persons.
Yeah. The problem of what is under research by the computer scientists is to try to be able to define a smart contracts that could reach two or several blockchains at the same time. In fact, the problem is to develop a language that could be ported on different blockchains, and the problem of the computer scientists is on this DSL for the smart contracts that could be on different blockchains. But yes, I know that you have developed the questions on the smart contracts in the project in Grenoble, and yes, I know that exactly. Yes, thank you very much, Christine.
Thank you, Christine. Is there any other questions? I guess we will be able to share the slides. Julien is next to me, but I think that could be possible on the website. Okay, so we'll do this. We will ask also Pierre if he agrees to give us his slides. Well, if there is no other question, I suggest we'll have a 10 minutes break before starting with Christine, if this is fine with you, Christine, as well.
It's okay.
Perfect. So we'll start at 11 again. Nice break.
Thank you very much.